Hi friends! In this tutorial, I will walk you through how to use Turnitin for your final submission. So Turnitin is a tool that checks your work for originality by comparing it to a huge database of academic papers, websites, and also past student submissions. So when you submit your final draft, Turnitin will generate what's called a similarity report. This is going to highlight any text that matches other sources. Well, listen, don't panic if you see matches, right? That doesn't always mean plagiarism. Sometimes it's just identifying common phrases or even properly cited material. So your goal is to ensure that your work is original and that you correctly cite any sources that you use. So by reviewing your similarity report before your final submission, this can help you make any type of improvements or adjustments and avoid unintentional plagiarism. So the similarity acceptable similarity score is 24%. And I'm going to show you, or I'll demonstrate with a paper submission where you will see the different color, the flags that will pop up that will generate your similarity score. So if you get a green flag, good to go. That means you're within that 24% similarities, right? Which means that 76% of your paper is original. That is acceptable, okay? So I wanted to give you a little demo here so you know what you're checking before, and you can submit this paper as many times as you need to, right? To where until you get to that green 24% or less similarity score. Okay, so we expect papers to include information from other sources, right? That's the whole point in a research paper. And then you're going to build content around the information you found. Okay, and that's how you're going to adjust or cushion, right? Original information with cited material, right? Originality versus any sources that you cite. Okay, so let me do a little walkthrough with you guys here. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so currently I am in student view, and I'm going to select your final research paper submission. And then I'm going to select new attempt. I've already submitted this as an example, so let's do it again. So I'm going to select upload file, choose your file. Let's see here. I'm going to pick a rough draft paper I was working on here just to give some examples. Let's open this up. And then notice here, let me zoom in. Notice here it says, I agree to the tool's end user license agreement. This assignment submission is my own original work. Again, keep in mind, if this is your first time writing a research paper, you are going to have other information in there, right? I'm not expecting a full 100% written in your own words, every single word. You're going to pull information from other sources. And again, you're building around that, okay? But you select, I agree, and then you're going to click submit assignment. Now, where will you find your score? So what you'll need to do is you'll have to go over to your grades, okay? So I'm going to select grades, okay? And you're going to see, you're going to scroll down to your final research paper submission. And what's going to pop up at first is like a little timer, right? So this is indicating to you that Turnitin is reviewing your submission, finding similarities, and will shortly present you a color-coded score, okay? Because I'm impatient, sometimes I just like to refresh my screen a couple times. There we go. And then you're going to get a little color-coded originality report. You'll click on that color code. Drum roll. All right, cool. And I can see over here, this number is 21. Okay, so that puts me in the safe zone for an acceptable sourced paper. Okay, so when I click on this, it gives me my match overview. So it tells me where, they found similar information, right, pulled from other sources. So it could be, for example, it says submitted to Carrington, 11%. And it'll even tell you, like, it gives you the number one. So number one, so this title, right? I've already submitted this paper, so it's probably why it's coming up with a similarity score. Let's see what else. So for example, right here, number 8. So I can see that 8 looks like a paper that was submitted to ACE Acumen Academy, right? So just that particular phrase, they identified that another paper, research paper, it's been submitted with that exact same phrase. Again, that doesn't mean you're wrong. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's, this is negative on your behalf. You just want to make sure that your words are, the make up the bulk of the content of your paper, right? Again, the expectation is 24% or below. Okay. All right. So again, you can submit this as many times as you need to get to that originality, report flag of green. So just as an example, as a test, I'm going to go back over to final papers, and I'm going to try to submit something from like maybe an older rough draft of mine. Try to come up with a different color just so you can see the differences. So I'm going to click on new attempt. I'm going to upload a file. Let's see here. Let's try this rough draft right here and see if it comes up with a different color. So I'm going to open this, click I agree, submit assignment. Then you're going to come over to your grades. I'm going to refresh my screen here. All right, I can see my little timer's on, so we'll be patient and give it a second here. Ah, great example. Okay, so now we can see that that color code is different. Okay, it's a red flag. So if I was to select originality report on this, it's going to come up with, ooh, 100% match overview. Okay, great example, right? So we don't want that. You want to be in that 24% range. That is acceptable. Okay. So again, right, just this is essential, right? This is a part of your, your research writing, right? Is you want to have original content, mixed in with information you pulled from additional sources. Within your research writing paper, I just want to also just reiterate this again. You have to submit your tutor feedback. Okay. So your tutor feedback is an important part of revising your final draft. Also, make sure that you're visiting the Carrington Library writing page, right? Getting additional sources from there. So in your Carrington writing page, I'm just going to walk you through this really quick. Writing papers at Carrington. This section right here, there's some really helpful videos. So again, if this is your first time writing an APA formatted paper, check out these great videos. How to format your paper, APA, how to set up your references, how to do in-text citations. Those are really the biggest things about an APA paper, is your title page, your reference page, making sure you've got the right font size, your spacing is appropriate, and and uh, uh, and then of course, making sure that it's, at an acceptable original level. All right, that is it for this video. Again, you have to check Turnitin, right? I need to see that originality of 24% or above. Now, if you submit a paper and it's not at 24%, right? That's your opportunity to make revisions and submit it again. If your final submission is less than green, right, I'm going to reduce points based off of how similar your score is or how original is. And so I'll be looking at that percentage. All righty, I will talk to you in the next episode. Please reach out for any additional support, okay? And also remember, you have a huge support system through Carrington. So from your course shells, remember, you've got a tutoring link, okay? And this tutoring link is going to provide you options to reach out and connect with a tutor. You can schedule a live session with a tutor to help support you, okay? All right. I'll see you in the next episode.